welcome to Fiscal Talk. We are starting a very interesting series about one very important topic. So, help me announce my dear colleague and our legal expert, Alexander Marinkovic, as my guest. Alexander, welcome to Fiscal Talk. It is great to have you here.
Hi, Theodora, and thank you for having me once again.
Absolutely. We will be talking about one very important topic in the next few episodes. So, for everyone who's watching now, make sure you keep following our LinkedIn page and our Fiscal Talk Show every Tuesday. Basically, what we will be talking about are first results of the new VAT rules in the EU. Basically, to give a short introduction to the topic, in July 2021, new VAT system for online shopping came into force, whose main aim was to simplify cross-border e-commerce and introduce greater transparency for EU shopper when it comes to pricing and consumer choice. And Alexandra, you can confirm that this is a very important topic for all parties that are involved in B2C e-commerce activities. Am I right?
Yes, these have a great effect on all B2C e-commerce activities and all parties that actually participate in cross-border activities.
I'm very happy to hear about your research, and I'm excited you will share your knowledge with us in the next few episodes. And I'm sure our audience is really excited for that as well. Before we start with today's topic, I will invite everyone who's watching us to definitely check out our Fiscal Portal as a unique online fiscal library for all important fiscal news and updates, where we also have documents on this topic. So now, Alexandre, please, let's start talking about main challenges everyone had before the introduction of the OSS, which would be one-stop shop.
Okay, so the main challenges addressed, or better said, the main changes addressed challenges arising from the VAT regime for distance sales of goods and from the importation of low-value consignments that were in place earlier. So the main problem, the main problem and challenges before the establishment of the OSS were that UA businesses that were selling goods online to final consumer located in another member states. So, for example, if they're selling from Germany to France, Austria, and Italy, needed to register an account for VAT in member states of the consumer when their sales exceeded the distance sales threshold, which were from 35,000 euros to 100,000 euros, depending on the member state. So each member state had different threshold. So the second challenge was that VAT exemptions was granted for the import of low value goods up to Euro 22, and this exception led to abusive practices, and member states used to lose part of their tax revenue. And final, or let's say the third biggest challenge in this era before these new VAT rules was that non-EU businesses were selling goods from third countries to consumers in the EU, so in the European Union, and they could make VAT-free supplies into the EU and were not required to register for VAT. And they profited from a clear commercial advantage compared to their EU established competitors. So the European Union competitors were losing this race because they were in less favorable position. So the new rule placed European businesses on equal footing with non-EU businesses that, according to the rules in force before July 1st, 2021, did not have to charge VAT. This also brought like simplified VAT obligations for businesses engaged in cross-border e-commerce activities and deepened the European single market.
Alexandra, thank you for explaining this situation in detail and giving us the perspective on why these new rules had to be established. Now, please let's jump into details of what has changed and how these rules tangled these, let's say, challenges, main
Yes.
challenges before.
Okay, so this is rather complex theme. So I
Yeah.
can maybe group it in five main points.
Please do. That's what we actually do in every fiscal talk for our dear clients, retailers, everyone who is watching us and has interest in these topics, because fiscalization in general and all these rules tend to be complex and complicated. So we rely on your knowledge and expertise to make it simple. So can't wait to hear these groups.
Okay, so first, before this OSS was established, so single one-stop shop system, there was a mini one-stop shop system.
Mhm.
And given the success of the mini OSS, which came into force on January 1st, 2015, it allowed suppliers of telecommunication, broadcasting, and electronically supplied services to register for VAT in only one member state and to account in that member state for the VAT due in other member states. So
Mhm.
this system, given the results, actually was extended to other B2C services, to intra-community distance sales of goods, as well as to certain domestic supplies of goods, and thus resulting in this bigger one-stop shop system. So this is the main point how actually the OSS was established. The second change was actually the existing threshold for intra-community distance sales was abolished and was replaced by a new EU-wide threshold of 10,000 euros. So every member state now has the same threshold.
Mhm.
Furthermore, special provisions were introduced whereby a business facilitating supplies through the use of an online electronic interface, marketplace, for example, are now deemed for what purposes to have received and supplied the goods themselves, and they are referred as deemed supplier.
Mhm.
Further on, import one-stop shop system or IOSS scheme for distance sales of goods imported from third countries or third territories of an instinct value not exceeding 150 euros was created, thus removing the previous VAT exemption at the importation of small consignments up to 22 euros. So we see the differences from 22 euros to 150 euros.
Absolutely.
And finally, new record-keeping requirements were introduced for businesses facilitating supplies of goods and services through the use of electronic interface, regardless whether they are or they are not a deemed supplier.
Uh, Great explanation, Alexandre. Thank you. Absolutely. I'm sure that anyone who wanted more information on this topic has everything clear now. And usually, when we come to the end of the fiscal talk, I ask my guests for the recommendation. But this time, I'll take this part. And I will recommend to everyone who is watching us and has interest in this hot topic to definitely follow our next episodes where I will have Alexander, our legal expert and consultant on this topic, again in the show to explain us other important parts of this topic. Alexandre, thank you so much for being here with us today. We will see you soon.
Yes, I hope very soon.
Absolutely. And to everyone who's watching us, take care and we will see you next week. Bye bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.